Hi, I'm Anna, and today I'm going to talk about my personal learning environment. I want to begin with the apps and sources I usually use for searching information. I want to begin with books. I sometimes consult books from my own library, or if not, I go to the public one, especially when my teacher asks me to read like in specific books, and I take notes on that. The thing I use the most for searching for information is the searching engine Google Chrome. I prefer it over other searching engines like Firefox or Microsoft Edge because I think the results are pretty good and it is like very intuitive, like it's easy to use, you know? I sometimes use Diccionario de Real Academia Española and Cambridge Dictionary to look for words like the meaning, the pronunciation, sometimes translation, and synonyms and anthonyms of the words. I use Educastur to look for more, like, let's say, formal information, like things related with the educational laws or BOPA changes, especially when I have to do projects such as didactic units. I use sometimes YouTube too, especially when I have to look for information and I don't have like much time available to look through loads of papers. And it has like a lot of summary videos that contain all the information you need. And finally, I use Pinterest, TikTok, and Instagram whenever I want to look like for inspiration rather than information, because it had like a lot of worksheets and materials other teachers create to give me like a lot of ideas to create my own. And well, to create these own materials and presentations, I use the following apps. We had to record sometimes video, and I usually record it with my mobile phone. That's what I had, like the camera app there. If I had to edit it with my own mobile, I use the app iMovie, which I think is like literally very easy to use. And if I had to do it in my computer, I use Clipchamp, which is very similar. If I wanted to create like very cool presentation, I go to SlideGo and then I use Google Slide to edit it and create cool presentations. If I wanted to make these presentations like a bit more interactive, add more animations or information, I use Genially, which is like really cool. Their results. And for written documents, I use Google Docs. I prefer it over Word because it's always like in the cloud and you can access wherever you are. That's why I changed to that one. And then Canva, I use it for almost everyone, like everything. Sorry, um, presentations, documents, and especially worksheets. When I have to create like materials for university classes and even my own classes that I give to children. And I think the results are pretty cool. And I also add Kahoot because sometimes I create Kahoots in order like to make evaluations for these projects or my classes. So there is it. For communicating, I usually use WhatsApp with my classmates because I think it's very easy to communicate. It's just chatting. But if we want to have like a more formal meeting, I usually use Teams so we can see face to face and talk, even if we are in long distance. I also use Teams when I have to communicate with my teachers. If the communication is just written or sending documents, I usually use Gmail. And well, for the teachers that is more like, let's say, formal, I use Outlook. That's why I put both there. In the case of organization, I have my own journal. It's not like a diary itself or an agenda, but I want to create myself. So I think it's easier for me to understand things and use color codes, etc. I have my own calendar at home, like a written one, manual, the classic of all time. Um, so I can written down whenever I have an exam or whenever I have to send a project there. But I sometimes use the Google Calendar because I have it like in my computer, and whenever I have to consult anything, I have it there. And finally, for sharing, I use these apps. Let's say of course, Google Documents is for sharing with my classmates or with the teachers, like the results of some projects and to read them down. I use the classroom to share with my own students the projects or the tasks they need to do, or whenever I found something interesting, I put it there. And then Pinterest, I started using it this year because I create loads of materials that I think that might be interesting for other people. So I decided to upload them. And YouTube, they are I use it especially because of those videos I mentioned. I have to create for class. So I uploaded them so people can also see it, and I think it's easy also for teachers to see it. You have also the subtitles automatic, which is like a good thing, I think. Um, I think that's all. That was my personal learning environment. Hope you like it.